Welcome to November at Gasper Cottage, which has had sunny days and a bit of snow and everything really thrown at us, which has been good for carrying on with building works. However, I've somehow struggled to get the video done, so this was all videoed on a very gloomy day. But you'll forgive me for that. The garden still looks glorious. And speaking of the building works, from here in the studio garden, as you step outside my studio, from one way you get the lovely view and gardens and ornamental grasses. Yeah, it's the greenhouse, which is full of things propagating and coming on. However, if you turn your head and look the other way, you start to see not quite such a glamorous prospect, because you've got cement mixers and diggers and dumpers. But they are doing a beautiful job on this new stone wall, and I think it's all going to really blend in. And from the railway, there'll be a wholly new prospect, which is going to be very exciting. That euonymus blob is definitely coming on. It's got a way to go. It's just my favourite view. It has to be in every video. I love it. Every day of the year, I love this view. But we have taken out quite a lot of willows in here to create that line of sight back through, across the box and into the rest of the garden. Really enjoying the ornamental pear. It's the last thing to lose its leaves. Outside the kitchen, that cornice, it's invisible all summer, but it's fabulous now. And the fatsia is flowering, which is a very nice thing. It didn't do that last year, so I'm enjoying that, as I am in this little, it's a form of hellebore, I think. The red bed, a lot of red left. The only red bit is now outside the bed, and it's the foliage of the Cotoneaster, which is also self-sown down the front of the wall. But I'm really loving the contrast of those really red leaves and the incredibly bright mosses that are on the wall behind it. Classic complementary colour combination, I think you will agree. Just fantastic. And it's also the way the ivy has colonised the willow there. And this is just at the foot of that willow, little compilation of foliage. The front garden is looking a little raggedy, but the hedge is great. And the far end, worth walking all the way down, this hydrangea altona just does amazing things at this time of year. Every colour you can imagine. Little fern, you never see it all year, and then you can't see anything else. In the big curved border though, it is the sedums that are so spectacular now. They've been good all year, but now the way they pick up the colours of the wall and just break up the tones and the shapes, such a magical shape. Even better if I could have got it covered in frost, but I didn't. But good with sunshine coming through. And as you turn out into the orchard and the pond area, one of the things that I'm really struck by, and I think it's a sort of psychological shock, is quite how green the orchard is when it's all been mown. Because obviously normally the grass is long and it's all tan and browns and you've got the wild flowers. But now where we're keeping it short over winter, mimicking the effect of that grazing, helping to get more things to germinate over winter, it's almost shocking the emerald, which is the interesting effect. And I'm using the forest garden to soften the boundary between the orchard and the slightly harsh hedge line. On a dull day, the colours are almost brighter. And when you look at those reflections, you can just lose yourself in the colour and the shapes.